Deployment is a challenging time for all families, but that is especially true for those with children. While one parent leaves, the other tries to take on both parenting roles and cope with not having one partner there for a long stretch of time. The kids also experience their own deployment-related stress and issues. Toddlers may not understand why mom or dad isn't there for their normal routines or to tuck them in at night. School-age children may worry about mom or dad's safety and find themselves struggling academically. Teenagers dealing with usual adolescent issues may have anger that mom or dad had to leave in the first place, along with having to take on new household responsibilities. These challenges can be hard for families to face, but there are techniques utilized to help families build resilience and maintain strength throughout the deployment cycle. Many parents wonder how to best prepare their family for an upcoming deployment and how to sustain the well-being of their family once the deployment has begun and the loved one is away. Research suggests that deployments can be an overwhelming time for military families and lead to problems with anxiety and depression in parents, spouses, and children. However, there are several strategies that can help lessen the stress and ensure that the family continues to thrive in the midst of the uncertainty and change that deployment brings. To highlight this, we'll suggest some strategies for self-care, communication, and maintaining family routines that can boost a family's resilience and mental health throughout the deployment cycle. As a parent or caregiver, it is important that you pay attention to your own emotional and mental health. This is the best way that you can assist your family through a difficult time. Try to build time for self-reflection. Research suggests that parents with stronger self-reflection skills are more receptive to children's emotional needs, especially during times of heightened stress like deployments. You may want to try practicing mindfulness, journaling, or any form of contemplative practice that helps you be aware of your own thoughts, feelings, and emotional needs. This foundation of self-awareness will prepare you to engage and be present in an active parent with your child and boost your own mental health, which will in turn boost that of your child. Mindfulness techniques can be practiced by anyone of any age, and they don't require any additional materials or costs. To practice mindfulness, simply take a seat. Find a place to sit that feels calm and quiet to you. Make sure that your body is comfortable and relaxed. Set a time limit. If you're just beginning, it can help to choose a short time, such as 5 or 10 minutes, that you can easily place aside every day. 3. Notice your body. You can sit or kneel however is comfortable for you. Just make sure that you are stable and in a position you can stay in for a while without feeling any form of discomfort. Feel your breath. Follow the sensation of your breath as it goes in and out, and repeat this process for the duration of the time that you're practicing. Make sure that you're inhaling fully and completely and exhaling as slowly as possible. Notice when your mind is wandered. When you get around to noticing this, in a few seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, simply return your attention to your breath, the slow and steady pace of your breathing. Be kind to your wandering mind. Don't judge yourself or obsess over the content of your thoughts you try to find yourself lost in. Just simply come back and practice once again on trying to clear your mind and concentrating on your deep and consistent breaths. Journaling provides children with an opportunity to gain self-reflection, academic skills, and for parents to learn more about their child's internal dialogue. Here are some journaling ideas that you can participate in with your children. Journal share. Make the journal experience interactive instead of secretive and solitary. Take a new approach to journal writing and declare that diaries are for secrets and journals are for now celebrating and sharing your life with your family. This will allow you to play an active part in helping your child to complete their journal. It will also allow you to have something to share with your deployed family member when you might not have something else to talk about. Write in journals with color. Toss out the pens and pencils and use crayons, markers, colored pencils, or glitter pens instead. You will be amazed at how beautiful and joyful a journal becomes by simply adding color and glitter. Summarize, summarize, summarize. There is no need to write page after page in a journal. A few words can summarize your day, explain how you feel, or just place a few bulleted points in the highlight for the day's events. Keep it short and simple and to the point by writing less than 10, 20, or 30 words, depending on your time restraints and your child's educational level. Write one word. If you and your child have had a long day and do not have much time or energy left for journaling, simply choose one word that encapsulates the day for you and write that word across the entire page in big bold letters. Upon review at a later date, you will be surprised how much can be recalled from just this one single word. Make it sparkle and shine. Use stickers, spangles, glue, magazine cutouts, craft supplies, and other miscellaneous arts that can be stashed around your house and closets. Get creative, but keep it simple. This is not to be a major production. There's no such thing as a right or wrong answer. Lastly, and most importantly, emphasize that there is no right or wrong answers while journaling. Journal writing should be freeing, not limiting. So give your child permission to break the rules that they're required to follow in school, spelling and grammar and so on, so that they may fully and creatively express themselves and share themselves with their family. In order to teach children about self-care, we need to help them first recognize their own physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs. This can be hard for children to articulate. The worksheet that I have provided in this screen is a daily to-do list that encompasses all of these things. It has an opportunity for the child to write a to-do list for the day, to address their physical, emotional, and mental needs, and provide affirmations and quotes that will inspire them to complete the rest of their self-care tasks for the day. The previous activities that we have discussed would be great when implemented with teenagers. Some of the things may need to be modified to meet their developmental level. The worksheet on this slide is a more advanced version of the one on the previous slide. This delves deeper into who the teen is becoming. In this worksheet, you can explore what the teen is interested in, what they want to learn about, things they'd like to experience, things that they have explored academically, and things that they would like to try to make or learn. Due to recent events, many of us have found it challenging to remain active during this time. It can be difficult to engage with children in a way that doesn't require additional materials to facilitate their fun and exercise. The slides below have workouts that children and teens can complete in the home without any additional materials. It is also important that you make time for you and your children to engage in outside activities. It is important that we all try our best to get fresh air. This can be done with having walks around the neighborhood or playing games outside with each other. Each stage of the deployment cycle is represented by emotional clusters that are often experienced by children during these stages. It is hard for children to articulate these feelings, and it's often something that they hold inside. This can be damaging to the child's mental and emotional health. It is important that parents create an environment that is conducive to open and honest dialogue so that children are informed and deployment is less of an abstract concept and something that is more easily comprehensible to them. Children need to be encouraged to creatively express themselves while learning as much as they can about this time. Share as much practical information as honestly as you can with your children about the deployment. You may consider putting a map and showing the children where the ship's last port was to, and to help the children learn about the area and culture there. You may also want to discuss the types of jobs the service member will complete while aboard and what a daily routine is like while underway. Make a coping plan for the child. You may want to talk to the child about the things that they can do that will make themselves feel better while they are feeling stressed out or scared during the deployment, or if they are missing their loved one. This can involve looking at pictures, writing a letter, or listening to an audio or visual recording of the deployed spouse. This could also be integrated into the daily routine at bedtime, after school, or in the morning to create more consistency in the child's life. Emphasize actions to stay safe while deployed. Children most likely will understand that there is a certain element of danger associated with deployment. It is important to acknowledge this and recognize those feelings, but also to emphasize that the service member and the command will do everything possible to stay safe while underway. Emphasize that the hard work and training that the military and their parent does this far has prepared them for this job. If there are siblings, encourage them to talk to one another about their feelings about the deployment. Research suggests that siblings can be especially important supports for one another while deployments are happening. Encourage your children to support one another and to speak openly about their feelings. If your child does not have siblings, try connecting them to other military children. You may want to check out ourmilitarykids.org. Talk about the deployed spouse frequently. Talking about the deployed parent or caregiver will give that person presence in the child's daily life. You may want to cook the favorite meal of the deployed spouse or read a book that they love together. You can record this moment and send it to the deployed parent to enjoy at a later time. You can also share often how much the deployed spouse means to the child and how much they love them. Deployment is a dynamic situation that can cause plans to change at the drop of a dime. It is easy for this to cause a child to become overwhelmed by their responsibilities at home or in school. It is important that we maintain structure for them and get them used to having a daily routine. But it is also important that we do not allow these responsibilities to become overwhelming and that we still make time to enjoy one another within the home. During the deployment cycle, it can be hard for children to want to interact with the rest of their family. So schedule pleasurable family events more often. Given all the stress of deployment, it is more important now than ever to schedule fun, stress-relieving activities for the whole family to enjoy together. They can be small activities such as a family bike ride, cooking a meal together, watching a favorite show, reading a book out loud, or doing arts and crafts, or something larger like taking a trip or going somewhere fun. Every family is working with different resources and financial and time constraints that can be a barrier to scheduling these sorts of activities. So try to find ways that fit into your schedule and your lifestyle with the resources that you have available to you and involve your children with the planning of all of the events. Limit media exposure. Try as best you can to avoid watching media content that involves military action or news of war zones activities with your children. It may be helpful to emphasize that the news you will share with your child about deployment will come directly from the deployed spouse or the family readiness resources available from the installation. You can emphasize that this is a more accurate and direct depiction of what is going on with their parent or caregiver than what the media has to offer us at times. Deployments are stressful. These strategies may help support your family during times of sacrifice and service. Please stay tuned for more ways that we can all help ourselves and each other during the rest of this deployment cycle. Thanks again, VFA 94.